I see it. I does it all.
Hope y'all been paying attention to that media gang, because Errol Spence Jr.'s team has actually revealed the reason why Errol Spence Jr. lost so bad to Bud Crawford. Don't believe me? Well, a lot of y'all have probably seen this video that's going viral on YouTube by this doctor that's alleging that Errol Spence Jr. suffered residual neurological damage from being ejected during a 2019 car accident. Now, as true as this may sound, this really wouldn't make sense to be the reason why Errol Spence lost so bad to Bud Crawford last Saturday. Because when he fought you guys last year, a couple days after my birthday, we seen an entirely different Spence, a well-focused Spence, and a Spence that made you guys' eye look like a tennis ball. So what's the real reason? So according to Errol Spence's team, him and his girlfriend actually got into an argument backstage before the fight began. She started going crazy. Things got out of hand, things got a little heated, and she also gave him something to drink. Now, I don't know what she gave him to drink, but whatever it was, his team says it actually lowered his energy down, which would kind of make sense because Bud Crawford, aka Terence Crawford, actually said, well, his punches weren't hitting hard enough. And if you're unaware, Errol Spence actually has the most craziest striking ability in boxing today, one of the strongest strikes in the world. So the beatdown that he took didn't really make much sense. And I'm not saying that this is 100% true, but if you look at his face right now, this is the face that he had throughout the fight. This is the face that he had while walking to the ring. And this is a face that lacks confidence right here. If you pay attention, this is a face that lacks confidence. He didn't come into that match focused. He didn't come into that match ready, and he ended up losing pretty bad. Which is why me personally actually believes that his team is right about him having an argument and possibly drinking something before that match that lowered his energy. And I'm not using this as an excuse, but I'm just saying, gang. But how do y'all feel about this? Do y'all believe Errol Spence's girlfriend sabotaged his career by making him drink something he wasn't supposed to drink as well as argue with him? Or do you believe Errol Spence just didn't train hard enough, didn't watch enough tapes, and going out there and just lost? You let me know in the comment section, gang.
So Floyd Mayweather gives his thoughts on Errol Spence's defeat at the hands of Terence Bud Crawford. And yeah, that fight was a pretty lopsided, one-sided beatdown, as we all saw, right? But Floyd Mayweather comes out and gives his thoughts on it. And I mean, a lot of this stuff that people are saying, your boy Bushido said prior to the fight even happening, but people didn't want to take this into account. They didn't want to let this be a factor for Errol Spence going into the fight, but really these were real factors going into that fight. But Floyd Mayweather comes out and says this, quote, "If I was training Errol Spence or I was in his corner, I don't think he should be fighting at 147 at all. I don't think he should be fighting at 154. I think he should be fighting at 160 or 168 pounds," end quote. Now, I'm sure the full interview is probably on Fight Hype, but that's just what Floyd Mayweather had to say in regards to Errol Spence Jr. He said himself going into the Crawford fight that he's tired of making the weight or something to that effect, paraphrasing. That he really could fight at 160 or 168, right? One would imagine that he possibly could fight at those weights. Now, how effective will he be at these weights? That's a whole different thing entirely. However, one would imagine that he'll be a stronger and better fighter at 168 pounds. Not to take away from him fighting at 147 because, well, this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to go collect all these belts. He wanted to go down the easy road and, do all this stuff first, instead of fighting Terence Crawford back in 2019 when he probably would have, been a lot more comfortable, making the weight and everything back then. But now, it is what it is. I think realistically, though, the size and all that really just wouldn't be a factor if these two guys will fight 10 times out of 10. I think Terence Bud Crawford simply just has Errol Spence Jr.'s number. I think if they fought at 160, even right now, Terence Crawford would still beat him. I mean, that's just what it is. It's a style thing. I think there's things over the years that Errol Spence didn't necessarily improve on. Derrick James is that guy is that if it ain't broken, don't fix it. And Errol Spence Jr. has been just running through the opposition prior to running into Terence Crawford. Oh, should I say Sean Porter? That's when things looked like, oh, wow, Spence Jr. is a human. But prior to that, he was running through the opposition for the most part. And then he ran into Terence Bud Crawford, and we saw what happened there. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that possibly went wrong. A lot of people is questioning Derrick James as a coach now. his decision making. You know, when the fighter is winning, the fighter is doing good. When one of his fighters is moving through the fight, fine. He looks like the best coach in the world. But when things is looking ugly, right? When there's pressure, it doesn't necessarily seem like Derrick James knows what to do. So it could be many things, right? I don't necessarily believe that, and I'm not sure if this is somewhat of an excuse from Floyd, right? But we all knew Errol Spence Jr. shouldn't have been fighting at 147 for all this damn time. And this is what this whole weight bully stuff, and these guys who like to really weight check dudes and all that, calling him a weight bully, bro. This is why guys call him a weight bully, because he was a dude that's fighting at 147 that should have been fighting at 160, 168 years ago. But now he's going up to 154, right? Maybe he'll look better there. Maybe he'll be stronger there, right? He'll be a fresher fighter at 154 pounds. But now I feel like the damage is already done, right? The damage is already done. Now he's going into this rematch with Terence Bud Crawford, who he himself will likely be a fresher fighter at 154 pounds as well, because, well, he's about to be 36 years old. He's been cutting the weight from 147 for about, 7-8 fights now. It's been some years now since Terence Bud Crawford been at welterweight. So he himself will be relieved of cutting that extra weight as well. Be a fresher fighter too. So we go see how that rematch plays out at 154 pounds. I'm sure Errol Spence is going to go through with it, and I'm sure Terence Bud Crawford will gladly oblige Errol Spence in a rematch. So yeah, that's the next one. Of course, we're waiting for Jermell Charlo to handle his business with Canelo Alvarez. But Floyd Mayweather, man, said that, quite frankly, I take this as him questioning Errol Spence's corner. Him questioning Errol Spence's team. Like, who advised this guy to fight Terence Crawford at 147 pounds? Look, man, everything that everybody's saying now about the weight and everything else, I've been saying before the fight happened. But nobody wanted to listen. Nobody wanted to hear me. Oh, no, this man down. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't did nothing. Sean Porter was out the door. Kell Brook was old. Even though Crawford's older than these guys. But whatever, right? Y'all didn't listen. So when he got in the ring with that honey badger, Terence Bud Crawford, he got tore to pieces, bro. And realistically, in my opinion, he looked just like the same Errol Spence that fought Dennis Ugas. The same guy. Guess what? The opponent had something laced on them punches. That shit was laced. Ugas' punches ain't laced. Because Ugas was docile as a plant-eating dinosaur, and when he got in there with a Tyrannosaurus Rex, we saw what happened, bro. Like I said, man, there's a reason why Derrick James has been so uncomfortable. His energy is changing. His energy is different when it comes to Terence Crawford. There's a reason why Jermell Charlo energy is different. His energy is strange when it comes to Terence Bud Crawford, bro. Because they know this dude he's a real problem. But salute to Errol Spence, man. Because he's willing to hop in the fire again. And me, who I am as a fight fan, I have nothing but respect for him, right? I have nothing but respect for warriors. And Errol Spence has proven, if anything, right, throughout all of this, he's proven to me that he's a true warrior. Because he was shaking hands with his son, telling him, look, man, we ready to do this again? Gang. Like, he ready to do it again. Biggest fight of his career. The biggest loss of his career, right? The only loss of his career. But he took it like a champion. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence actually took it like a champion. It's his fans and everybody else that's not taking it too well. So I wish Errol Spence Jr. the best, man. Hopefully he's a better, fresher fighter. And hopefully he can give Terence Crawford a more competitive matchup at 154 pounds. Will he do it? I'm not quite sure. I think it's more of a style thing. But we'll see. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.